Alright, this is Pre-Calculus, Chapter 8, Section 3. So the order of the matrix is described as m times n. It's the size of the matrix, basically. Where m is the rows and n is the columns. So think about it this way. When you go to a sporting event, you go down your row first until you find your column, right? Columns hold up buildings, rows, go left and right. Okay, so they typically use I and J in the abbreviation to figure out the individual element in a matrix, right? Where the I comes first, the J comes second. So when you see something like this with an IJ, they're talking about the location of a single element, basically. So determine the order of A. Well, this is a 2 by 3 matrix because it is 2 rows and 3 columns, right? We'll make that blue, correct? Because it goes 2 rows this way and then 3 columns this way, right? Let me get my little pen out. Studio Tools, right? Okay. So we got 2 rows, correct? And rows go left and right, and then 3 columns. Okay. Alright, so the next it says, what is 2, 3? It doesn't mean 23, it's the second row, third column. So, second row, and then third column is the negative 1/5, right? And then 1, 2 is not 12, it's the first row, and then second column is just the 2, correct? Okay, so it's row then column. Alright, so go down to here, take a second, and pause the video, try this one for yourself. Okay, so this one is a 3 by 2, right? 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay, turn my pen on here, right? So you got 3 rows and 2 columns, right? There we go. So next it wants to know the 1, 2, so it's the first row and the second column, so that's a negative 2, right? And then 3, 1 is the third row, first column is a 1. Okay. I think we got that right. Yep, I'm happy with that. Okay, let's go to the second page. So addition and subtraction, they must be the same order. And you just add or subtract the corresponding elements, essentially, right? So we take this one right here. Come on, clickety-click. Well, I can't click it. Am I freezing? I'm freezing, that's why. Okay, oh, it's on the other screen. There we go. Shrink that down. Okay, so if I do this one, okay, it's going to equal the same size, so copy, paste, make this blue, format color blue, and get rid of all these individual numbers now. Okay, so 0 plus negative 2 is negative 2, 5 plus 3 is 8, 3 plus 5 is 8, negative 2 plus 7 is 5, 6 plus negative 9 is negative 3, negative 8 plus 6 is negative 2, so that works. They're the same order, right? And we're just adding by location, essentially. But these are 2 different orders, so this would be an undefined operation, right? It's not an empty set, right? It's an operation, and it can't be done. It's undefined because they're not the same order. This is a 2 by 2, and that's a 3 by 2. That's not the same. Won't work. Okay, so this one, however, we can do. All right, these are both the same order. So I can get rid of the numbers here. Format color blue. Okay, so 5 plus negative 4 is 1, 4 plus 8 is 12, negative 3, oh, this is subtraction, I'm sorry. Subtraction, let's pay attention here. 5 minus negative 4 would be 9, 4 minus 8 would be negative 4, negative 3 minus 6 is negative 9, 7 minus 0 is 7, 0 minus negative 5 is positive 5, right, because double negative, and then 1 minus 3 is negative 2. Okay, and same thing with subtraction. These are different orders, right? These are in different orders. So this is undefined, right? It's an undefined operation. It can't actually be done as is. Okay, Scalar multiplication. Essentially, the scalar multiplication has to go to every single unit inside. So if it's a 4 on the outside, the 4 goes to every element in the inside, because each number in the inside is an element, essentially, right? All right, so if we do negative 5b, I'm going to take the b over here. I'm going to copy this. And I'm going to put the negative 5 on the outside. So what, in fact, does that equal? Well, we'll take this format color blue equals, so we'll copy the matrix, and we'll do negative 5 times, and we'll put that to each one of these little guys here. Need some parentheses in this one, obviously, to maintain the correct order of operations here. Okay, so we're going to get, let's see here, negative 10. We're going to get positive 15. We're going to get negative 25, and positive 30 is our answer. Okay, well, what if you have multiple going on here? So I'm going to take the A, and then I'm going to copy the B. Alright, so in between is a plus 3, and this one's a 2. So what this comes down to is a matter of order of operations, right? You need to do the multiplying before you do the addition. So the order of operations still maintains itself in matrices. Okay, so they distribute the 2 first. So I'm not going to put them inside. I'm just going to do them manually this time, because I think we can probably handle that without actually writing it out. So times 2 would be a negative 2, an 8, a 6, and a 0. If I times it by 3, I get a 6, a negative 9, a 15, and a negative 18. All right, let's double check. Multiply all these by 2. I think that's good. Multiply these by 3. I think that's good. Okay, so the last thing is to add these together. Okay, negative 2 plus 6 is 4, 8 plus negative 9 is negative 1, 6 plus 15 is 21, and 0 plus negative 18 is, negative 18. Typo. There we go. Okay, so that's scaling. Okay. So the next thing is multiplying, which is rows by columns, right? So each row by each column is being multiplied, and that'll give you the answer. So what you need to know is, if the inner dimensions match, you can do it. The answer is the outer dimensions, essentially. Okay, so if we go to here and we do this, all right, let's just click on it, actually. So this is a 2 by 2 being multiplied by a 2 by, what do we have here, 4? Okay, so I'm going to put parentheses around that. Parentheses around that. Okay, so this is possible because the inner numbers match. So the answer is a 2 by 4. So it's going to be a 2 by 4 answer, right? Let me make a better X than that. I think I have them. There we go. That's the X. No. Yeah, that's the one I want. Okay, so again, the inner numbers match. So we're good there. Format color blue. So then, therefore, the answer is a 2 by 4. So I can make a 2 by 4 answer. Okay, format color blue. Okay, so let's do the math here. So it's rows by columns. So I have this row here, the 4 and the 2, and this column here. So I wonder how I can color these. I wonder. So let's do this. Let's make this format color blue, this one format color blue, and this column here. Format color blue, and then format color blue. Yeah, that didn't really work. Okay. Alright, so if I do that, that's going to be 4 times 1 plus 2 times 0 So that's going to give me a 4. So this answer here, right? So that's the top row and the leftmost column. Top row, leftmost column. It matches up with the location. Okay, so if I do the next one, format color blue, format color blue, right? That's going to give me 4 times 2 plus 2 times 2, format color blue, right? Because essentially what I'm doing is row times the column, right? That's what I'm doing. All right, so that's 8 plus 4 is what, 12? Okay, so next one, 4 times the 3 plus the 2 times the -1, right? So format color blue, format color blue, right? So essentially what I'm doing is 4 times 3, 2 times -1, right? So this is the top row and the third column, right? So this is the top row, third column. So I'm figuring out this number right here, basically. Okay, so that's what, 12 minus 2, so that's what, 10? Okay, and then the last one is the 4 times the 4 plus the 2 times the 6. Okay, so that's what? 16 plus 12, so 16 and 10 is 26. That's what, 28? Okay, so that's 28. So now the next thing I'm going to do is this bottom one. Format color, we'll do red. How's that? Format color red. So I'm going to take all of these, I'm going to copy them and cheat here. Copy, paste, and change this to 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3, 1 and 3. Because now I'm going to go each column times the red row. Okay, so the first one is 1 times 1 and 3 times 0, right? That's the bottom row and the leftmost column, right? The bottom row and the leftmost column gives me this answer here. Okay, so that's going to give me a 1. That's going to be what? 2 plus 6 is 8. That's going to give me 3, and then plus -3 is a 0. Let's put a 0 there. And the last one is a 18 and 4 for 22. I think we got it, right? 18, 4? I think so. Okay. Alright, so that's what we get for this one. So the B one here. Well, the problem is here, if I do this one, let me just copy this for real quick. If I try to do this one, this is a 4 by 2, or sorry, 2 by 4 times a 2 by 2. Right? This is a 2 by 4, 2 rows, 4 columns, and this is a 2 by 2. So the problem is the inner numbers don't match. So this is an undefined operation, right? You think about why that's a problem. Because if I try to do this, it's 4 numbers in a row, 2 numbers in the column. So this one goes to this one goes to this one, but then these ones go to numbers that don't even exist. It doesn't even line up, basically. Okay? So for addition, they have to be exactly the same dimensions. For a matrix multiplication, the inner dimensions must match, so it's different than addition, right? Let's try one more of these. Okay, we'll copy this one again here just to kind of save myself some time. Alright, so if I do this one down here, what is this? This is a 2 by 3 and a 3 by 2. Okay, 2 by 3, 3 by 2. The 3's in the middle match, so the answer is a 2 by 2. Okay, so that means I need to make a 2 by 2 answer. Okay. Let's go up to here, by the way. This is the answer here in orange. Okay. Okay, so this is a 3 by 2 and a 2 by 3, so this can be done basically. So what I'm going to do here is this row by this column will give me this answer, right? Because that's top row, left-hand column. Top row, left-hand column, correct? So if I do that, I'm going to get negative 2 times 1 plus 1 times 2 plus 3 times 3, right? Row by column. So I'm going to get what? 9, 10, 11. Oh, those cancel out. So it's just 9. Okay. Then I'll do the next one, which is the top row and the right-hand column. So top row, right-hand column is this, right? Top row, right column, right? It's going to give me this answer here. So we'll negative 2 times 1 plus 1 times negative 1 plus 3 times 5. So that's what? 15. Take away 1 is 14. Take away 2 more is 12. Okay, whoops. Alright, I'm going to copy this and cheat now. Copy, paste, and change this to 4, 2, 1, and 4, 2, 1, because now I'm doing the bottom row times each of these columns to get the bottom left and right. Okay, so what is this? 4, 4 more is 8, plus 3 more is 11, and that's 4 minus 2 is 2. That's what, 5, 9 minus 2, that's what, 7? And we'll check here. Yeah, 5 plus 4 is 9, minus 2 is 7. Yes, that's where we go. Okay, last one, the B one here. Well, I'm going to copy the little shape here. Can I do this one? Copy, paste. Well, this is a 3 by 2 and a 2 by 3. Right? This one is a 3 rows, right? 3 rows, 2 columns, right? This is 2 rows in 3 columns, right? That's what this one is. So that works, because again, the inner ones match, right? The inner ones match, that's possible. And the answer is a 3 by 3. 3 by 3 is the answer. So I'll make a box. No, we need a box. And 3 by 3. Format, color, orange. Let's see if we can do this in our head this time. Okay. So this one times this one, right? That's going to give me negative 2 and 4 for a grand total of 2. Okay. And then this row times this row, so that's 1 times 1, 1 times 2, right? So that's what, 3? When I add them together. Alright, and then the last one on the top here. Alright, because we're doing the top row and the top row, correct? Times this column. So 1 times 3, 1 times 1, so that's what, 4 when I add them together? Okay, so now we're going to do the middle. So the middle times this one gives me this one, right? Because that's the middle row, first column, middle row, first column. So that's what, negative 4 and negative 4 is negative 8. Okay, and then we have the middle row times the middle column, right? Gives me middle. So 2 times 1, negative, that's a negative, alright, that's positive 2 and negative 2, that's just 0. Okay, last one on this one. We have the middle row and the right-hand column, right? Middle row, right-hand column. 2 times 3 is 6. Negative 1 times 1 is negative 1, so that's what? Positive 5. 6 and negative 1 is positive 5 when you add them together. And the last row now, so the last row, oop, I didn't click that correctly. Come on, there we go, last row. That's going to give me what? Negative 6 and 20, so basically 20 take away 6 is what? 14? Okay, and then, come on. This one times this one is going to give me 3 and 10 is 13. And last one. So it's the bottom row, right-hand column. Bottom row, right-hand column is right here, correct? Bottom row, right-hand column. That's going to give me 9 and 5. So that's 14 when you add them, right? Okay, so the order that I'm doing these does not matter. Okay, you can start with in the middle, the top, the bottom, left, and the right. The only thing that matters is location, location, and location, right? So when you chose this row in this column, right, that is the bottom row in the left-hand column, did you put the answer in the correct spot? If I choose the middle row in the left-hand column, did I choose the middle row in the left-hand column, put the answer in the correct place? So the order at which you multiply them doesn't matter as far as each of those, but you do need to make sure they're in the right location in the end. Okay, that's the end of the movie there.